Okay, so real quick, I did this build a little differently. I just wanted to go ahead and do the endoskeleton that they always advertise with these builds. Actually do the like I said, the endoskeleton that is supposed to be the gimmick, basically. So I wanted to go ahead and build that out first before putting on the outer shell or armor. This is the first time I've done it, and now I'm going to have to do some backtracking and back through the instruction booklet to finish them off. But I mean, in any case, it's kind of cool. Not sure I care enough to do this again, but it's kind of cool. Alright, let's continue. So as you can see, Crossbone. This is a very nice build. Very nice build. I do have a couple of problems. Some things that I noticed just that don't stay in place. On the back of the calf, there are these little pieces right here that slots into the back of his calf, like so, right there. It won't stay in at all. So the other one is also loose, but at least that one seems to stay in to a degree, but this one won't stay in at all. So I'm probably gonna have to wind up making it a permanent thing. I don't know why it's there. I gotta believe it's some kind of add-on, so I don't really want to make it permanent, but we will see. But in any case, he comes with this form of beam sword, and you got this is like a I don't even know how to describe it. I know it's listed as a buster cannon, but it's a form of a pistol. The two of them merge in a way. I don't feel like doing all that, but they do merge to form one. I guess it's a gun. When I looked at it, it was like a gun. But yeah, I love the color placing on the weapons. This is a real grade, so every color is its own piece, and I do love that. It also comes with his cloak, which in my opinion, I actually like this look. I'm probably gonna, when I put him on the shelf, it'll be with the cloak. It comes with 4 sets of hands. Pretty cool. Of course, the fist, the open palm that, no hold, nothing to hold there, and then hands that hold for the cannon and for the sword. This would be for the swords or the beam swords. And a couple of blaster effects for. I honestly, I don't like them. And then a beam shield. So, yeah, this is him. Definitely was an enjoyable build, I'll say. Just to give a look at it. Also, this piece dead center of the crossbones doesn't seem to stay in either. Might have to make it a permanent thing. I really don't want to use glue anywhere, but some of these pieces they won't stay in. But those are the only issues that I have. Let's get a couple poses in there.